Hey, boys and girls. This book is called The Declaration of Independence, 1,400 Words of Freedom by Debra J. House. And this book is part of the Primary Source Readers program that we're using for social studies. Let's take a look at this book. The Declaration of Independence, 1,400 Words of Freedom by Debra J. House, MSED. Okay, so this is a reader's theater book, so it is like a play. On this page, we have the characters that are going to be in the book. We have the narrator, Benjamin Franklin, John Hancock, Thomas Jefferson, William McHart, and John Dunlop. And the setting is, the reader's theater takes place during the Second Continental Congress held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This story is based on actual events. So this story is about things that actually happen. Act 1, narrator. Congress meets in the State House. Some of the men want to break free of British rule. Others say they should try talking to the King George. Franklin. I spent years in Britain. I tried to make the king understand our concerns. He doesn't care. He'll keep taxing us to pay for his war with France. Hancock. The king already ignored other men and their plea last summer. Jefferson. It's too late. We've been at war with Great Britain for more than a year. Franklin. We must be our own nation. That's the only way that we can make sure our rights are protected. Hancock. We need a government that will serve us, the people. Jefferson. I'm tired of being ruled by a king who has never even seen this land. What does he know of the New World? Franklin. Exactly. We're well within our rights to overthrow a king who doesn't respond to our needs. Hancock. We must make these 13 colonies free and independent of Great Britain. Jefferson. Yet, we are British subjects. It is treason for us to talk of independence. If we lose the war, the king will hang us. Franklin. True, but our friend Patrick Henry said, give me liberty or give me death. A boy listens at the door as the men continue to discuss the issues. Act 2. Dunlap. Young man, what are you doing there in the hallway? William. They're in there talking about breaking all ties with Great Britain. Dunlap. Yes, I know. And they have good reason. I just hope they can come to an agreement. William. Aren't you one of the delegates, sir? Dunlap. No, I'm John Dunlap, the printer. My print shop is just around the corner. William. I think I want to become a printer too, just like Benjamin Franklin. Dunlap. Well, it's hard work and requires long hours. You should come visit my shop to see for yourself. I'd like that. Thank you, sir. So you won't tell them that I was here? No, I was young once myself. A curious mind is one that loves to learn. Act 3. Hancock. Gentlemen, I say we vote. Who is in favor of declaring freedom from Britain? The men from 12 of the 13 colonies vote yes. The delegates from New York vote no. Okay, it's settled then. We need to draft an official document. Mr. Jefferson, would you please write our declaration? John Adams, Ben Franklin, Roger Sherman, and Robert Livingston form a committee. They share their ideas with Jefferson on July 2nd. Jefferson finishes the first draft. He shows it to Congress. Act 4. It took me 4 days to finish it. I hardly slept. John Hancock. Let's hear what you've written. The document is read aloud to the delegates. Some of them want some changes to be made to the declaration. Hancock. What is written must be something that we'll all agree to sign. Franklin. Especially since we're putting our necks on the line. Jefferson. Just don't change the best line. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I agree, that line should stay, Franklin. I like that the Declaration includes a list of the king's offenses. It's very clear that he has done a lot of intolerable things, Jefferson. King George has forced us to do this. Congress spends July 2nd and 3rd revising the document. Hancock. I wish some of the men from the South would agree to keep the part about setting free the slaves. I don't want to strike it. Franklin. It must be done. If we don't remove it, they won't sign. Jefferson. Okay, the part about the slaves has been removed from the Declaration. Now, do we all agree with what has been written? All of the delegates vote yes. Narrator. On July 4th, John Hancock signs the official document, the Declaration of Independence. Charles Thompson signs it, too. There isn't time for the others to sign. Hancock. We must get copies made right away. Franklin. There has been a boy in the hallway for the past few days. Perhaps he would take it to the printer. Hancock. Young man, come out from behind the door. William. I'm sorry, sir. I meant no harm. I was just so interested in what you've been saying. Franklin. What is your name? William. My name is William McHart, sir. Hancock. William, take this paper to Mr. Dunlap, the printer. Tell him that we must have 200 copies by morning. Right away, sir. But why do you need 200 copies? Our fellow countrymen will want to know what we've decided. Hancock. All of the people are waiting to hear from us. We should send our best writers to deliver copies to every town. Act 6. William. Sir, I have the Declaration of Independence. Dunlap. How many copies do they want me to make? William. 200 by morning. Dunlap. By morning? I'm going to need help. Williams. I can help you. Dunlap. We'll have to work all night. Go ask your mother if it's all right. William returns an hour later. Dunlap. I read this while you were gone. Do you understand its importance? William. I think it means that the fighting will continue with Britain. Dunlap. Yes, but there's more. This is the first time that anyone has ever said that a government should benefit the people. It says that kings must treat their subjects fairly. William. I heard the men call King George a tyrant. Dunlap. He is that and much more. King George thinks that because he was born to be a king, he can rule any way he likes. He considers himself above other men. William. The Declaration says that all men are to be treated equal. Dunlap. Yes, indeed. Now, please, hand me that tray of type. We need to get busy. Act 7. Mr. Dunlap, I know Ben Franklin, my father, loves to read his almanac, but I don't know much about the rest of the men in Congress. Can you tell me about them? Dunlap. John Hancock serves as president of the Second Continental Congress. He is from Massachusetts. William. Do you know Jefferson? Jefferson comes from Virginia. He's a lawyer who trusts people to govern themselves. William. I see Charles Thompson sign this. Who's he? Dunlap. Charles Thompson is the secretary. He serves the Congress without pay. He keeps the best records I have ever seen. Narrator. The Indians in Delaware call Charles Thompson man of truth. William. Why wasn't George Washington there at the meeting? People say he is a great leader. Dunlap. He is leading the army. He could not leave his troops. They may be fighting the British as we speak. Now, let's ink the type. William. Act 8. Narrator. On July 8th, all but the delegates from New York signed the Declaration of Independence. Jefferson. Mr. Hancock, why did you sign your name so large? Hancock. So King George can read my name without his spectacles. Jefferson. Men, I hope you all understand that signing this is the same as taking a sacred vow. Hancock. We must all stick together on this. Jefferson. If not, the king will charge each of us with treason. He will target our homes and our families. Franklin. That's right. We may have just signed our own death warrants. Hancock. Come, let's read our declaration to the people of this fine city. Ring the old State House bell. A crowd forms on the steps of the old State House. William and Mr. Dunlap listen as the declaration is read to the people. I heard Congress debate these words. Then I helped you print them, but I never understood the power of the words until they were read just now. Dunlap. Remember this day, my boy. You will tell your grandchildren about it someday. Narrator. On July 9th, New York agrees to sign the Declaration of Independence. Hancock. At last, we are all in agreement. Jefferson. We will fight for our freedom. Franklin. And we will win. On August 2nd, 1776, 56 men signed the official Declaration of Independence. The king wanted to punish the men who signed it. British soldiers were ordered to burn some of their homes. 20 of the delegates lost everything and died poor. 5 were captured and thrown in jail, yet none of them ever regretted signing the document. Working for independence. We will work, work, work until the job is done. We will work, work, work until our freedom's won. We will work, work, work and do all that we can to win, win, win freedom in our land. Here we have the Declaration, and we are pleased to see that this paper calls for freedom for you and, yes, for me. It declares our independence, our right to liberty. It's our Declaration of Independence, and it says that we are free. And this is a song called My Country, 'Tis of Thee. And the words are, My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. My country is a place where people know my face and know my name. It feels so good to me to have a land where we can be who we want to be. I'm glad I'm here. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And this is the glossary with vocabulary words, and it says declaration, public announcement of something important. Declaration of Independence, a document stating that the 13 colonies were free from British rule. Delegate, person who is sent to a meeting to speak for a group of people. Endowed, given a quality. Independent, controlled by oneself and not controlled by another. Intolerable, unbearable, difficult to endure. Liberty, freedom. Parchment, heavy, stiff paper that should not be folded. Second Continental Congress is a group made up of representatives from all 13 of America's colonies. Spectacles, an old-fashioned word for eyeglasses. Subjects, people who live under the authority of a king or a queen. Treason, the crime of betraying your country or helping an enemy during a war. Tyrant, someone who rules other people in a cruel or unjust way. And unalienable rights, rights so obvious that they cannot be denied. And that was our story of the Declaration of Independence, boys and girls. I hope you appreciate what a great document this is and how great it is to be free in our country, America.